After a long hiatus,
Mhm.
welcome back to Let's Talk Ball. Let's talk sports, specifically baseball today, primarily.
Primarily, yeah.
Yeah. All right. So, it has been a really long time. Like a lot has happened
Yeah,
in
it's
the
been
world
like
of sport.
6 weeks, I think.
Yeah. Long hiatus. And since then, the Red Sox, because I was thinking about this where I was like, I don't think the last time that we filmed, I think that was before the Red Sox were on their crazy tear.
I think they just started their win streak actually,
Yeah.
because it was right before the All-Star break and the trade deadline. So it was like I think I remember we talked about how that was going to be that stretch was going to be the determining factor in whether they were going to sell or buy.
Yeah.
Obviously, like very definitively were buyers, although like they didn't go that crazy at the deadline, but they didn't sell.
Yeah.
There was a possibility of them selling at the time because they were 5 or 6 games under 500.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, I
And
mean, they
here
were the
we are
hottest team in baseball
in the
for
month of
over a
July.
month.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like that's putting it lightly. Like that doesn't happen.
Yeah.
Winning that
No,
many.
exactly. I
Yeah.
mean, they were close to being, they were the longest winning streak this season. But they were close to being one of the longest ones in their franchise history. It was the tied for the longest one in their franchise history and close to ish the longest in the league ever.
Yeah. The American League, I think the record's 20 or 21 games. It was the Athletics.
Yeah.
The money. Have you seen Moneyball?
I have not, this has come up so many times because I feel like I've doubled down on baseball in particular recently because there hasn't been much else happening,
Yeah.
especially in terms of like team sports
It's that time
in
of the
minor
year.
leagues and everything. And every single time that I talk about baseball with somebody and talk about the Red Sox with somebody, it doesn't matter who it is. The question always comes up if they're like, "Oh, have you seen Moneyball?" Specifically because of the Red Sox. But I have so many times in the past like 3 weeks heard that question. And every time I'm like, no, but I should watch it. And then I completely forget. And then someone else will be like, ah, have you seen Moneyball? And I still have not.
I mean, it's just a good movie, but it is an especially good baseball movie. In the like, it tells the story of the 2003 Athletics. I think maybe it's 2001, early 2000s. One of the they were famous for being very frugal. Like they didn't have a lot of money from their owner, and so like they were at the forefront of advanced analytics, and they won 20 or 21 straight games
Hmm.
in that regular season. I think it was 2003. Um, and yeah. So, anyways, at the end of the movie, Billy Bean, the main character of the movie and the GM in real life, who Brad Pitt played,
Ah, of course.
um, gets offered the job with the Red Sox and declines.
Mm.
So one of the last scenes in the movie takes place at Fenway. They're like in Fenway Park, like
Ah,
actually.
beautiful.
So maybe that's why people recommend it when they're like on the Red Sox bases.
And I think it started when, because the Red Sox um, consecutive series win streak ended against the Athletics.
Yes, it
Because
did.
the Athletics won the series against the Red Sox. And I think specifically when around that time when I was talking to people about it, everyone was like, "Oh, well, have you seen Moneyball?" And I was like, "No." And I would talk about it every single day because they play every single day. And people would be like, "Oh, you should watch Moneyball." Still hasn't happened. Maybe it will.
Yeah,
At some time before this season ends, I'll watch it.
yeah. Well, anyways, either way, it's not they had two long win streaks. That was like teams don't do that over the course of a month typically. So put them right back in it. I think they're sitting in the first wild card spot right now, or maybe the
Are
second.
they? I think they're still second
Second.
against the Like I think the Yankees are in the first wild
So
card spot
yeah,
still.
in all likelihood, it will end with those two in those two wild card spots. Who's in ahead of who matters for uh, home field.
Well, the Red Sox were really closing in on the Yankees for a second there. They were only half a game behind.
Yep.
And then they kind of fell apart. They had a really bad stretch on the road
Yeah.
and they kind of fell apart.
Yeah. That
And then the Yankees started also. Like the Yankees, I think, were having a bit of a tough stretch as well. And then they like started catching up from their tough stretch at the same time that the Red Sox just fell deeper and deeper into their pit while they were on the road.
that's actually a good
So
note. It's a good transition or a good segue actually. Do you know how the playoff structure works roughly?
roughly, yeah.
So it's new-ish. They used to have way less teams in the playoffs. Like four teams would make it from each side. with only like one wild card team,
Yeah.
and you would go straight to the divisional series. And then COVID, they changed up the structure a lot. And then, or sorry, before COVID, they introduced a fifth wild card, and there was just like a wild card game. It was basically a play-in game.
Yeah.
And then post COVID, they now have like they added another wild card team. There's the full wild card round.
Yeah.
So the structure is interesting though, because for a team like the Red Sox this year will get hurt by it, because what it does is the top two division winners get to move on to the divisional series with a bye.
Yeah.
The third divisional team automatically plays the worst wild card team in a home series, best of three.
Hmm.
And then the 4 and the 5 get matched up, like with the home team
Which,
being
as of right now, is the Red Sox and
yes.
Yankees. Yeah.
And this year, because typically the divisional winners are all better than a wild card team, but this year the AL is just really bad, and the AL West in particular is horrible.
Yeah.
So the Astros, who I believe are like at 500 or one game above, one game below,
Yeah.
are would win the division if the season were to end today, and automatically be matched up with the sixth wild card team, which is I don't even know who's holding it right now. The Guardians, yeah, who are below 500. So that matchup will be between a 500 team and a below 500 team, while the Yankees and the Red Sox, who are both significantly better than either the Astros or the Guardians or whoever ends up in that wild card spot, will have to play each other and will get eliminated. And the kicker is that because of the way the seeds work, the winner of the Red Sox and Yankees would then go on to play the Rays, who are the best team in the AL, and the Astros Guardians winner would play the White Sox. So like basically everyone but the AL East teams benefits from like how bad the other two divisions
Yeah.
are, except for the Reds. So like it's kind of it's similar to what I think we talked about before with the NHL playoffs, where like
Yeah, I was about to say it sounds very similar to the NHL playoffs.
yeah, it's not usually like this in baseball. Like it's being caused by very uneven. Like it's not usually this uneven in terms
Yeah.
of like the three best teams in the comp or in the league in this case are probably all in one division.
Yeah.
Um, but anyways, so the Red Sox really do care about getting ahead of the Yankees, because even though you're going to have to probably play the Yankees no matter what,
They want to play
you
at
want to play at
home.
home.
Yeah.
And the wild card series, you don't flip back and forth.
Yeah,
So,
you play. Yeah.
yeah.
I actually did know that. That I did. I was listening to something. I think when I was watching the game today, they were talking a lot about the playoff structure and how like because last year was also Red Sox Yankees, right? So
Yes.
it was just kind of talking about how they really want to be at home. Which at the beginning of the season though, the Red Sox were doing really bad at Fenway Park.
They were
Um
one of the worst home teams in the league at the
yeah.
beginning of the season. Yeah.
And so I don't know. I guess now they're also they since they came back to Fenway Park, they've been doing better since this like stretch on the road because they had a really this like past week they were doing pretty bad.
I mean, teams do play better at home. You have advantage,
Or
like
yeah,
batting second, especially late in games, is an advantage, like
yeah,
inherently too. But yeah, we'll see. I think I would put the Rays above the Yankees and the Red Sox. So, um, but in baseball, it really is not hard to be upset in the playoffs. So
yeah,
similar to hockey, I guess, in that regard.
yeah,
And so any team that gets in could win it all. Although I don't think, frankly, in the AL, teams like the Guardians, if they get through, or even whoever wins the AL West has the horses. Um, it'll probably be one of the AL East teams if I had to make a prediction.
yeah.
Yeah. Have you been watching non-Red Sox baseball at all?
Not really. I think because of like the blackouts have been really frustrating me in terms of I
Okay, so
also
you
need
have
to get
MLB TV.
I don't want to get MLB TV.
Oh, you don't have MLB. So what are
No.
you getting blacked out of?
Most things are only on like local networks or they're on live TV and I don't have live TV. So I can watch that's at like I could watch games like the Sunday night baseball because that's on NBC and Peacock a lot of the time.
Yeah.
Even there was a Red Sox game recently that was on Fox and I was like, "Oh, what am I paying $30 a month for on Nessun if I can't watch this game that's on Fox?" So I was like, but
Yeah, the
that
MLB
does
has
make me change.
weird broadcasting stuff. I think the national broadcast, the TBS ones, you probably can watch on HBO Max. I'm not 100%
You
sure of that.
can. TBS, TNT,
Yeah.
anything that's on those platforms are on HBO Max.
Yeah, and then Peacock / NBC. But the only
And
national,
ESPN too.
yeah, you do have ESPN. So the only ones you wouldn't be able to watch are Fox of the National League Pass,
which
which is every Saturday.
yeah, which gets me. Which it's I mean, I guess I could do other things with my Saturday. On a side tangent,
Yeah.
you know what's really frustrating for it like the broadcast and everything of like watching games?
Yeah.
The NBA.
Oh, it's way worse.
I went through and looked at every single game in the NBA that I could watch just like October through December this fall with the streaming services that I have, which is a lot of services except for live TV. Like I have most streaming services except for live TV, and most of the NBAs are on like the League Pass. Is that what it's called? The
Yeah,
NBA
it's like the MLB
yeah,
TV
like it's
equivalent.
like that most of the NBA, like most Celtics games are on the League Pass.
You wouldn't be able to watch any of them on League Pass though, locally.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But they no, they're only streaming on that, aren't they?
you'd be blacked out. That's the kicker. If you
What can I watch it on?
League Pass and MLB TV work for all out of market games. So any if you live in like you live in the Boston media market,
Yeah.
you wouldn't be able to watch any Celtics games on League Pass.
So what can I watch it on?
You'd have to get some. I don't know if NBC Sports Boston has a subscription or not,
But
but
only some of them, according to the website, only some of them are on NBC Sports Boston.
and then national.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah, you'd either like that's the kicker. League Pass is good for out of market. It's not good for in market. So if you want to watch Celtics games, I mean they're on national TV all the time, so you can watch a lot of them, but you wouldn't be able to watch every game unless you had cable.
I mean, I like feel like basketball is the one that I am it's just they're too tall for me. I can't get past it. And also like the Celtics lost Jalen Brown or like traded Jalen Brown, whatever. So we'll see how this goes. But basketball is the one thing where it's just like I just can't fathom. They look like giants, especially to me. It's like those like scenes from when I used to be obsessed with Power Rangers when I was a kid. Probably past when I
What
was
was
a
your
kid.
favorite season of Power Rangers?
Oh, that's such a good question. I think Dino Thunder
It's a
was
good one.
a good one.
It's a good one.
Was it Ninja Fury? There was a couple different ninja
Ninja
ones.
Storm.
Ninja Storm. There was a ninja. Yeah,
There was multiple ninja
there
ones.
was a
Well,
lot of ninja
some of
ones.
them happened like post us being children, but
Well, I have seen quite a few of them. I've watched almost every season of Power Rangers through. I think I've seen every single one through like 2020, like
I think
since I
I
was in
stopped
college.
watching them after they. I'm a little bit older than you for the viewers' purposes,
Like 2 years.
but
Yeah.
I believe I stopped watching. They were owned by Disney, or like they were distributed by Disney adjacent things, and then they went over to like Nickelodeon or something in like
They did go to
the early
Nickelodeon.
2010s, and I think that's about the time I stopped watching Power Rangers.
Well, I didn't watch it when I was like when they were streaming on TV as much until I was in maybe like late elementary school, but all of them went on to Netflix. And the
Mm,
summer that I got Netflix, I didn't have a life and watched every single season of Power Rangers.
I've probably yeah, I like the older ones, like the ones in the 90s, like the
The
original
Mighty Morphin.
Mighty
I
Morphin, and then
love the
like
Mighty Morphin Rangers.
even when they changed over, I had the Power Rangers Turbo movie when I
Oh,
was a kid. I watched it all the time. It's not very good, but
but
it's a children's show.
and it's not supposed to be good. It's for kids.
No, but even as a kid, it was like, something's not good when as a kid you remember it not being good. Anyways, but yeah, no, I think Dino Thunder, we'll get off this in a second because I don't know how many people will care about Power Rangers, but
This is who even cares what we're talking about
that's true.
anyways.
Dino Thunder's good. I remember my favorite one being SPD as a child.
I liked SPD. I also liked RPM, which is
RPM was my favorite. That's what I
RPM
was
is
just gonna
a
say.
good one.
That was the
RPM
last
is
one on
really good.
Disney.
And the acting in RPM was actually like the actors were
Well,
kind of good.
Rose McGowan is like a real.
She's a real actor. Yeah.
It's rare. No, I mean like a lot of the Power Rangers actors are like,
They are built for Power Rangers world.
yeah, they were like teen actors,
Yeah.
so I'm not gonna give them too much crap, but they're not very good actors, and like
Yeah.
most of them are. I think they were producing the show in like New Zealand,
Yeah. They
so a
were.
lot of them like aren't. I never became mainstream American stars, but Rose McGowan has been on like multiple television shows.
Yeah. No, the actor and like so have some of the other people on RPM.
Yeah, yeah.
They're really, really good. Um, I will say there's a scene from Mighty Morphin Power Rangers that plays the song Free Ride by Dan Hartman, I think is the person who sings it. And it's from the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers movie.
Oh, that movie's crazy.
And that movie
With the
is
purple
crazy.
putty stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
And I love that movie. And the song Free Ride plays in one of the opening scenes where they're all rollerblading. I have been thinking about that scene this entire summer because I need to learn how to rollerblade.
one of the best skydiving scenes of all time at the beginning of that movie.
Yeah, no, that movie was so this is Mighty Morphin Power Rangers was so good. Like they were on to something with that one. Like no wonder it even I feel like Power Rangers has kind of been dying, but like no wonder they were on a tear after that one started because
That's the
they
original,
it
yeah.
was a great show. I also really liked In Space for the theme
In,
song.
in Space is good.
And also Lost Galaxy.
That was right
Wow.
after that, yeah.
Yeah, the a lot of those older ones were just so fun to watch. I'd rewatch them in a
I
heartbeat.
don't. You're one of the only people I could talk shop about Power Rangers with.
You should, oh my God, I was obsessed with Power Rangers as a
I
kid.
watched. I was. It was one of my favorite things.
Yeah,
I had all the action figures too, though. I
yeah.
don't know if you did, but I had a
I
bunch.
got the 40th anniversary collectible Monopoly game that had all of the like red Power Rangers. No, it was the 20, I think it was the 25th. There it has not been 40 years. It was the 25th anniversary Power Rangers game. And I think that was when I was like I think I still have it. Like I think it's at my parents' house because I think we moved from Ohio to Georgia to different house in Georgia with that in the past 3 years. And I was like, no, you're not getting rid of that.
Same.
I think the scene at the end where they have the like boss battle scene with like the Megazords,
Oh, that's you're
yeah,
saying
that's what they look like to me. Is that they look like the Power Ranger like Megazord. That is what it is. The
the
Megazord.
monsters always get supersized by something. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, and no, but the like the no, I don't think NBA players are the monsters. I think
They're
they're like
the Megazords.
they're Megazords. Yeah, like the ones who are like stomping like Godzilla-esque, but they're like the good guys.
They're mechs. I mean, they're
Yeah,
um, yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Wow. I mean, do you think that Jason Tatum would be insulted or felt like he was being complimented if you told him that?
I think if Jason Tatum were to ever interact with me in real life, he would 100% understand where I'm coming from based off the fact that he would probably tell me that I look like a garden gnome
You
in
think
real
he would
life.
say those words to you?
I think if I told him he looked like a Megazord, he would tell me I look like a garden gnome, and I wouldn't be offended by it because we're probably 3 feet apart. He's probably almost double my height.
He's, I think, 6'9", 6'10".
So he's 2 feet taller than me, but like
I mean, but like,
almost 2 feet taller than me. But I think that he would understand where I'm coming from in the sense where I would be like, "Hey, you look like a giant," and he would be like, "Okay, you look 2 years old,"
mhm.
and I would be like, "That's fair."
You're probably shorter than his son is now, Deuce.
I'm gonna look this up.
I don't know if Deuce's height is public or publicly accessible.
How tall is Deuce Tatum? 4 feet 6 inches.
Oh, it's getting close.
I've
Deuce is, I think, like 12 years old.
He is.
So, is he 12?
Based on measurements, no wait,
I don't think he's
8 years
public
old.
measurements. He's only 8, and he's 4'6". That feels like kind of tall for an 8-year-old.
Yeah, they're apparently, according to Google AI, they're predicting that he'll be taller than Jason Tatum.
I mean, it's not crazy to think that he'll be really tall, but
Yeah,
um,
he'd be like my height.
he's only 8. Yeah, he looks older, but that's probably because he's super tall.
Yeah,
Um,
that's like Beyonce's daughter, what's her name? Blue Ivy.
Blue Ivy.
Yeah, Blue Ivy's also really tall, and she looks way older than she actually is.
She's like 16.
Yeah, but she looks way older, and she has for like a while.
Yeah, yeah. But
Uh,
girls hit puberty first, so that one makes more sense, I guess. But well, Deuce is 100% not hit puberty too.
He's okay. I am looking up how old is Deuce Tatum, because I don't know if Google AI is.
This is our most focused podcast episode.
At least everything
This is sports related.
everything that we are talking about is sports adjacent, and it's also interesting.
Yeah, I mean, who
Like
doesn't?
it's like funny
Mhm.
for us at least.
No,
And
I think people will eat this up.
yeah,
Sophie, for one, loves to talk about Deuce Tatum.
so we I feel like we say this almost every
Sorry.
episode. For context, Sophie's Harrison's girlfriend and one of my best friends, who does love Jason Tatum.
She loves Jason, and she likes Deuce too.
Oh,
She
so
sends me
cute.
she sends me reels about Instagram reels about Deuce Tatum
Yeah.
pretty
Oh,
consistently.
he's
Um,
turning 7 1 year ago.
he's only 8 years old. That's insane. So are you looking at pictures of him right now?
No, I'm looking at the
Look,
NBA Reddit.
go to images
Okay.
and look at this child and tell me he's only 8 years old.
Um, I mean, he kind of looks like an 8-year-old. Oh, this was when he was 6. He kind of looks like a 6-year-old
No, he looks way older than that now.
now. First grade graduation this June. That's 7.5 years old. He still looks like I feel like he
You
looks like an 8 year
you got
old.
to see him running around. Maybe I'm wrong. Anyways,
Um,
anyways, you can't watch NBA or you don't have an interest in the NBA because they're too large. The men.
yes. I like watching the NBA. I just think if there was a first of all a hockey game for a team that I was interested in, first priority.
Mhm.
Second, baseball game, specifically Red Sox, I'd watch that over a Celtics game.
Playoff
Third,
baseball generally or no?
any baseball.
Okay, any
Any
baseball.
well, any Red Sox game.
Any Red Sox game.
Yeah, I would watch a Red Sox game. I would first of all watch any hockey game, any NHL game or PWHL game. Then I would watch a Red Sox game. Then I would watch a Patriots game or Ohio State football game. And then I think I would go to the Celtics. And unfortunately, with like the way that the fall shakes out, so many of those games are happening over at Celtics times. So I think that I would probably not watch a Celtics game first, which I can't
But
even.
listen, I think you're and most people are that way. The
I
Celtics don't
think,
become part of the public consciousness in Boston fully.
yeah,
They people watch the opening night or whatever, but the people aren't regularly watching NBA games until
but
after the new year.
yeah, that's true. But I do think that the Celtics are one of the most popular games for people to want to go to in Boston.
Going to the game is different.
Yeah,
People go to games, but
yeah,
like the in terms of like the zeitgeist and what people are paying attention
yeah,
to,
that's true.
I think Boston sports, especially if the Red Sox are playing in the playoffs,
They're
that's
the
above
tour for the
everything.
Red
Yeah, yeah.
Sox.
I mean, the weekend, like the Patriots are going to be big, but like it's going to be the Red Sox in the playoffs, especially if they're going to play the Yankees, right?
Yeah,
The Celtics would be playing at the very like middle or end of October, so like it's a little different. No one's watching Celtics preseason games
that's
over
true.
any other sport though.
Well, I like because I am doing my game days in the fall. It starts September 11th. That's my first game day that I'm hosting for the
Mhm.
fall. And I mapped out September through December of what games, like, because it's I think Red Sox, Bruins, Patriots, and
They over
Celtics. Yeah.
days, yeah.
And so like I mapped those out of what I'm gonna host a game day for, and I think for the Celtics, the first one that I have is in the middle of November.
I think that's good. Wait, what's on the 11th? That's a
Red
Friday.
Sox. Because
Okay.
the Bruins regular season doesn't start until the 29th, and I accidentally put down on my work calendar that I could work Sundays, and the Patriots play a lot of Sundays in
Most
September.
well,
Yeah.
most of their games are gonna be Sunday. They'll
Yeah.
play
They have like a
two
couple
games a year that aren't Sundays.
Thursday
Yeah, yeah.
games, but yeah.
They're playing the opening game this year because oftentimes it's the Super Bowl rematch. So
Yeah.
that's an extra one.
Yeah.
So they'll probably play three regular season games not on
Does it
Sunday.
start this Thursday? Is that the
No,
game
no,
on the
no.
27th? Or is
No,
that
that's preseason.
still
First
preseason?
regular season game is the 9th. And
Okay.
that's I think Patriots Seahawks
Mm,
in prime time.
hmm.
And then there's a game the next day too that I can't remember who the matchup is.
Yeah.
These are important because I play fantasy football, but I assume you don't.
I was supposed to sign up for fantasy football by today for my job. Guess I missed that,
Hmm.
but my bad. On the topic, sidetracking a little bit again, on the topic of little kids playing sports,
The Little League World Series.
yes, I have been obsessed with it.
Really,
I think it's so fun to watch.
I I know people that are really into it. I've never been into it. I
I
can
love
understand the
it.
appeal.
I think they're so adorable. Like, as someone who also, I already ordered a T-ball set. For context, my nephew's name is Mylan. He's 2 years old, 2.5 soon.
Mhm.
Um, I have a T-ball set in Georgia waiting for him that I ordered for delivery to my parents' house, and I see him next Thursday, like not this coming Thursday, but the Thursday after, and I'm picking him up from school, we're playing some t-ball, and I'm so excited because my sister won't let him play any contact sports, which is fair enough. I respect that decision. So I was like, oh, he's getting into baseball. And I think Georgia is also a great place to get into
It's
baseball.
a very big baseball
Yeah,
state.
so I
Yeah,
was like, if not football, baseball is lovely. Um, and so I want him to do Little League so badly.
how old is he?
He's two, not now, but
Yeah,
eventually.
you get t-ball range. I think at 5.
Yeah,
4 is tough. That's
yeah,
like tiny type soccer
yeah.
where they're not even really. They're just running.
Well, he's his T-ball set is coming up. But yes, I have, especially whenever I work at the hospital, so many of my patients have the Little League World Series on because I was working, I feel like a decent amount this past week, or like two shifts within the past couple of days this past week. And so many people were watching the Little League World Series.
The Iowa team threw a no hitter the other
Wow.
day.
What did you look at that?
6 innings, no hitter.
Wow.
They won. I think they're still in it. Um, I don't follow it closely ever. I do know it takes place in August, but I never.
Yeah. I
They're
mean,
playing an MLB game in Williamsport tonight. Did you know that?
I didn't know that. I did. I wouldn't say that I follow it particularly closely. I do think it's so fun to watch whenever I do happen to catch it. Um, they're just so adorable and little. It's
Yeah.
so
Well, some of
cute.
them aren't. It's kind of scary when they're not. They're
Well,
like
even
they're big.
some of the so when I skate at Warrior, I have to go based off of the commuter rail times, and so it just makes most sense to me to like stay there. And there's usually something happening, especially with like all the kids camps and everything that are happening. So there's usually like a hockey game, like a kids hockey game from their camps. And it is so interesting to me how some of the kids will look like maybe 2 feet tall, and some of them in on the same team are double the size. And I just forgot that that's what it's like to be a kid, where it's like you could be approximately 1 inch tall, and you also could be done growing in 6 feet at the same time. And I was like, wow, what an interesting thing to happen as a kid, where you're like playing a hockey game, and the person that you're playing against, which I understand like conceptually still can happen. Like there are some like NHL players who are almost 7 feet tall, and then there are some that are on the much shorter end for hockey as far as like being like short for men. Um, and so like I think that concept still exists, but as a kid, being like undersized and then being like playing against somebody who is like literally double your height in a game where you're like charging each other. I was like, I'm short and I already feel stressed out sometimes when I'm like around somebody who's very tall. And so I was like, I couldn't imagine being a kid and that being my opponent. I think I would be feel so overstimulated. Like I'd be so overwhelmed. I'd be like, I don't think I can play this game.
Well,
But maybe that makes it fun because also the kids who are a lot of kids who are smaller are really fast
that's
because
true.
speed works in their favor. So,
Well, you get to see it all in the Little League World Series. I guess as we maybe that brings us back to baseball. I will
yeah.
say we're nearing the end of August. September, the weather starts to turn, and September baseball can be a lot of fun because there's playoff race.
And the weather here I feel like is so nice
It's perfect right now.
for baseball. Yeah.
Yeah. So we already talked about the AL playoff race. Have you been tracking the NL at all, or do you know the
Not
teams?
really.
So the NL is the opposite of the AL, and that it's like there are three there are 3 to 4 really good teams,
I
like
know the top 3.
equally good to
I'm
the
familiar
Rays. Yeah, yeah. So that I'm for the viewers as
for
well.
the viewers, yes.
But the right now the NL West is basically locked up for the Dodgers. The NL Central is basically locked up for the Brewers, although the Cubs are very good as well. And the NL East looked like it was locked up for the Braves, but the Phillies have won like 9 straight games.
Ah,
So
it's freaking Philadelphia.
so we'll see what happens there. But the winner of that division will be very good. That means that there's likely 2 of the wild card spots locked up by the Cubs and the Phillies because of the recent push by the Phillies.
Yeah.
The last wild card spot, unlike in the AL, where the team's likely to be 500 or worse, there could be a very good team in the NL getting left out because the Padres are still in it. The Diamondbacks, who we're just watching, are still in it. I'm blanking on a team.
I can look this up
Yeah,
while
you'd
you're
have to
talking
pull
about
up the
it.
standings.
Oh, I don't worry, I have them freshly up.
The Marlins aren't too bad. Yeah, there's St. Louis, Pittsburgh. There's a lot of teams in the race there.
Yeah,
And so in that case, you're going to see more evenly spread out playoff matchups. I think all the teams that get into the NL playoffs are going to be deserving slash like worthy opponents for whoever they get matched up against. Whereas I don't think that's the case in the American League. So,
yeah.
um, sorry, I have a sneeze coming. In all likelihood, I think I suppressed it. In all likelihood, and it's baseball, so you never know. We're going to see the Dodgers win the World Series again, but like, it could be very exciting down the stretch in the National League at least.
Have they already started playing Scooball? I haven't been paying attention.
Skubal, yeah, he's been
Okay.
pitching for the Dodgers.
Okay.
The Dodgers are just like baseball is a game of depth and especially pitching depth in
Yeah.
October. So like your lineup matters, but hitting declines in October because the weather gets colder, so the ball doesn't fly as much. So there's
Yeah.
less home runs typically.
Yeah.
So
Scientifically.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So and leverage pitching, so pitching when the game is close late in the game is what wins games,
Yeah.
close games. And in October, like if you're playing against playoff teams, you're going to be playing a lot of close games. So the teams with the best bullpens and the starters that they get the most out of are often some of the best teams in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Lineups matter still, like big moments, big hitters. Like obviously like you can swing your way through a lot of things, but like typically pitching wins. The Dodgers just have an embarrassment of riches on that front.
Yeah, which is I feel like I've talked about this with a lot of people, the like MLB salary cap
Yeah,
thing,
yeah, yeah.
which it's just I feel like I can't go through a conversation bringing up primarily the Dodgers without talking about the salary cap, as I feel like it comes up in every single conversation I have with anyone that follows baseball.
It does. I mean, it's going to be dominating the off season, certainly.
Yeah.
That we're probably not going to start next year on time, as you've probably seen in the news. But
Oh, really? I actually have not seen that.
so the collective bargaining agreement expires after this year.
Okay.
So they have to renegotiate and agree on a new collective bargaining agreement.
Okay.
And the salary cap is a sticking point in those negotiations. The owners want to implement a salary cap, and the players do not want there to be a salary cap.
Which would, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Intuitively,
So
yeah.
what's odd about the situation, and this typically doesn't happen, is the MLB as an organization has been advocating for a salary cap, like actively running ads on YouTube and broadcasts where they like
The MLB has been advertising it?
on behalf of the owners functionally, right? Because
Okay,
the
yeah.
league is ultimately a vessel
Arbitrary,
for the
yeah.
ownership.
Yeah.
But yes, there has been significant argumentation for a salary cap because they know this will be a negotiation point, although I don't think formal negotiations have started.
Yeah.
The players don't want it. It may or may not come with a salary floor, which would also change dynamics because they're in baseball. That it's not just that they have payrolls that get super high with certain teams; it's that some teams are like bare bones spending money. Actually,
Yeah.
the team I'm
I
repping
was about to comment on your sweatshirt. This is, I think, the first time that you've worn sports
sports gear.
merch during a podcast episode.
Well, the White Sox did win a series this weekend.
Good for
They
them.
beat the Mets 2 out of 3 games.
Dan must be
Our
sad.
friend Dan is a huge Mets fan, and he's sad, but they're honestly like they've been really bad all year. So
Yeah.
you at this point in the year you can kind of give up mentally.
Yeah.
But anyways, the White Sox, actually these two teams are perfect examples. The White Sox, the largest contract they've ever given out is to Andrew Benintendi. I think it was 5 years, $75 million guaranteed. By comparison, the Mets have given out multiple contracts over $400 million in the last 5 years.
Yeah.
In terms of payroll on average, the White Sox payroll I think is somewhere in between $50 and $80 million this year.
Yeah.
It's changed a little bit since the trade deadline. They did pick up some money at the trade deadline on their payroll, but like horrendously low. And the Mets are carrying over 300 million, if not 400 million this year
Yeah.
on their payroll. Like it is an untenable delta between teams that are nominally supposed to be competing for the same thing.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
And you don't
It's
see
crazy
that.
to me that it doesn't exist. Like that the salary just even like loosely enforced by any means that it doesn't exist in
There is a
baseball.
luxury tax. It has changed trend wise. Like
Yeah.
teams weren't as willing to go into the luxury tax in the MLB until recently. The Mets were one of the teams that spearheaded that with just like brazen spending. The Dodgers have, the Yankees don't as much, but they still have a really high payroll. But like, there's 5 or 6 teams that are willing and able to outspend almost any team in the league. There are 5 or 6 teams willing to outspend and willing and able to outspend anyone. And there are 5 or 6 teams that are, whether because they're in a small market or their owners are just cheap, like gonna spend like 10 times less than those top teams.
Yeah.
That's typically in a common year the Pirates, the Marlins, the White Sox, they sometimes the Angels, like those types of teams.
Yeah.
And as a fan of one of those teams, like you're reliant then on your young players being very good and, finding it's the Moneyball. It's
Yeah.
Moneyball. The Athletics are a team I did not name, but are one of the most prominent examples. You're reliant on finding value on the margins,
Yeah.
and you can still win, not typically World Series these days. Like that's not been happening recently,
Yeah.
but it does. It's just a different fan experience and a different league experience, which is very, very different compared to say the NFL or the NBA, where the NBA basically has a hard cap now, and the NFL has for years, and every team any given year can win the league.
And it's also, I think, like in terms of longevity, like people like I think a big thing, which I'm sure it's similar in other leagues as well, but like a big thing in the NHL is like franchise players and like winning with your team, like being with the same team for a really long time and like being loyal to a team. And from what I have gathered and everything, it's those teams that spend a lot of time developing people when they don't have as much money in the MLB, then those players will go somewhere that is winning and that will pay them a lot of money once they get good. And so there's just so much like turnover of like they're not
A
keeping
hun-
players.
a hundred
So
percent. Yeah. So you do get a lot of team control in MLB. You get 6 to 7 years of a player once they come up to the major leagues, where
mhm,
they are not allowed to sign with any other team.
mhm,
The pay varies. The first 3 years they get like rookie pay, which is not great, and then they go into arbitration. It's what it's called, where like based on how good they are, they can negotiate for like a fair market value of some sort, and so they get paid more. But like you get them on the cheap for a long time, basically, like in the structure. But you're 100% correct. Once they get that 6 years or 7 years of service, if you're the White Sox or the Pirates, you're never going to be able to, and they're like a top player in the market.
yeah,
You're not going to be able to compete with the Yankees or the Dodgers if they're calling and
yeah,
like trying to sign those players. Like you're just not.
yeah,
And salary wise, you then are hoping to offer some other sorts of value. Sometimes you see teams extend those players, like to give them more guaranteed money earlier in their careers. There are ways where you can like have a guy for a long time, but the pressure, if you're not competing in that window too, so like if you're not winning games, if you're the Pirates, Paul Skeens, who's one of the best pitchers in the game,
yeah,
there was people who were saying that Paul Skeens should be traded in his rookie year. 6 years of team control left, right?
yeah,
And they're saying, well, the Pirates are no good, which was true. Why don't you just trade him now? Because he's never going to re-sign with you anyways
yeah,
and get value. And like that's not a fun way for the sport to exist.
yeah. That's just not, yeah. You just want to be so happy about your good players and everything. And you want to be, this has been a thing, not to make everything back to hockey. I just,
Yeah.
like, this is a thing with the Columbus Blue Jackets, which has over the course of my like hockey fandom has become my favorite team. I just had to like I returned to my hometown roots. And it was also pretty much the only team that was on my radar growing up other than the Buckeyes and the Columbus Crew. So I, um but it's like a thing where it's like they get so excited about these really good players that they have, but the Blue Jackets have sucked and will probably continue to kind of suck. But I love them. I want them to not suck. I really hope that they don't this season. I really hope that they make it into the playoffs this season. And they were close this year. Um, but it's this thing where it's like the fan experience, like you want to be rooting for your players and you want to be rooting for your good players to stay and everything and like be like, I don't know, that just I feel like that sucks to be like, okay, just like trade them, like you want to be really rooting for player development, which is something that I really like following and everything, and like is like something that in my like coaching education I learn a lot about, is like developing like people's like habits and all of these things so that like they just all of the different benefits of sport like really playing out for like kids, and you still see that in like older players and stuff like that, and like how can you challenge them and how can you do all of these things, which I just think it's like very cool to learn about and very cool to implement. But it like kind of sounds like it sucked to be a fan if that was the case. I don't know. Like there was also this stuff with like Dylan Larkin in the Detroit Red Wings where like he requested a trade, and then it hasn't happened yet because like they can't really get much return value for him. So from as far as I know, the trade still hasn't happened yet. But then now, like Red Wings fans are being kind of weird about Dylan Larkin because he requested a trade, and it's just like I don't know. The whole fan experience is so strange. I think there was a similar thing with like Zach Werenski when he it was like rumored that he potentially was going to request a trade or that he was like thinking about it, and then they like had this whole crazy stint and like Blue Jacket fans were so upset and like all of these things, and then they like backtracked and they were like, whoa, wait, actually he's staying, like he wants to play in Columbus, he wants to win in Columbus, he's going to stay here a really long time, which I love and think that's great, but it was just kind of like a really weird fan experience. But I think it was more people were like, why like do all of the good players want to leave Columbus? Like because they're not winning. And that's fair to be a player and be like, no, but in order for my career to be a success, I want to win. Like it's why they're professional athletes. It's like part of like that's the whole thing. But it just kind of sucks when like fans are like so involved in that process. I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah. And you would hope, like, I guess bringing it back to the MLB, like structurally, it's not like happening. Like a team being bad is fine if like I'm not saying it's fine, but if it's badly managed and like they're playing under the same rules, I don't know how the salary cap works in the NHL specifically, but I do know there is more. It's very
It's
much more
pretty
structured.
yeah, yeah.
Like that's one thing. In the MLB, it seems like it's like there's no way the Pirates can compete financially with the
Yeah.
Dodgers. That's like kind of the
Yeah.
takeaway. So we'll see where the negotiations go. I think honestly, like for my own cheering purposes in terms of the outcome, I just want there to be baseball next year. Like it's there's probably gonna be a lockout of some sort. The question is like when and for how long.
Yeah.
And once that happens, like there was a lockout in the previous I think cycle and it got resolved relatively quickly. Like, but the MLB and the NHL have both had seasons canceled over labor
Yeah.
disagreements. The NHL I think it was like the 2005 or 6 season
Yeah.
completely canceled. And the MLB it was in the 90s and it was a big deal. And actually, unfortunately, the owner of the White Sox was one of the like architects of the dispute from what I
Yeah.
know about the history. So yeah, that's kind of looming over baseball after October. I think for this year, people are just really excited. Viewership has been up for baseball.
Yeah.
The rule changes they've implemented over the last couple of years in terms of like the pitch clock, the
Yeah.
pitch challenging, um, kind of things that make it more viewable. You know, just like smaller things like pitcher substitution rules, small
Yeah.
things, but like cumulatively they mean games happen faster and are more like digestible maybe to a casual fan.
Yeah.
I think have been really good changes and mean the game is getting more popular. So it'd be really unfortunate if that all that momentum and kind of like goodwill that's been built up is uh, taken away by a pretty nasty labor dispute that
Yeah.
could be happening in the winter. So,
Yeah.
but but yeah, I think that's a
Awesome.
good spot with MLB. Did you have
Yeah.
any other sports you wanted to talk about?
I don't know. I think that's pretty much it. We can do our brief little fall overview because I kind of also really have to pee. So,
Yeah, there we go. I mean, football. Like
football, it's coming.
it's being dreaded by members of my household that are not me, meaning Sophie, and really anticipated by me. Um, the college season has its sort of week one next Saturday.
Yeah.
College football, it's called week zero, which is dumb, but there's a couple games basically, and then the full week one is the week after that. So the very first weekend of September, and then Labor Day weekend is when we get the NFL as well.
Yeah.
And I think I said September 9th earlier for the Wednesday
Yeah.
there. This is the first NFL game, but then the first full weekend is that weekend.
Yeah.
And then we're off to the races. It's a long season. So the regular season for the NFL is 17 weeks. And
Yeah.
the college football regular season is like 12 games for each team, but about 13 or 14 weeks.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's going to be taking up my attention. If the White Sox in the playoffs would be taking up my attention, hopefully the they locked down the division. But
Yeah.
football's football. I don't know how much of it you're going to be watching, but
I'll be watching.
there we go.
I'm
College too.
iffy.
You're gonna be a big Buckeyes fan.
Oh yeah, I'm returning all the way to hometown.
Well, how much do you know about this year's Ohio State
Nothing.
Buckeyes? Well, I can tell you one piece of good news. They
Okay.
are the preseason #1 team according to the Associated
Great.
Press.
I'm so happy for them.
Um, that I think there was a statistic I saw that for the Ohio State Buckeyes specifically,
Yeah.
they've never won a national championship in a season where they were preseason #1. It's very interesting. Um, doesn't mean they won't. It just means that it was like kind of like they do better when they're never like lowly ranked, but they do better when they're like in the five range than
Yeah.
when they're first overall. But they're a very
That's
talented
first.
team.
First.
They have the best wide receiver in college football. His name's Jeremiah Smith. He's
I have heard of him.
he is likely playing in his last year in college because you can go to the draft after 3 years.
Yeah.
This is his third year, and second year quarterback, or he's not second year starting quarterback. Julian Sayin is his name, um, and a lot of other very talented players. They're resetting out from a lot of talent going out the door on defense. A
Yeah.
lot of guys who got drafted. Um, Caleb Downs, Sonny Styles, guys who will be on NFL fields soon, not just
Yeah.
rosters, um, for the regular season. But they'll be a very good team. They have a very hard schedule though.
And
So
yeah.
the first game you probably need to pay attention to is they play Texas in week 2
Tough. Okay.
on the road.
Oh, even tougher.
So in Texas is another very good team. Arch Manning, who you might have heard that name,
Yeah.
is their quarterback. So that if you're going to follow the Buckeyes at all, will be the first.
Oh, I will be following the Buckeyes.
So, but otherwise, the Pats are going to be good.
I know, I'm excited. It's a good I feel like it's a good fall of sport.
Yeah, it'll
It's
be a good fall.
yeah.
We'll save more football stuff, I think, for the
Yeah.
next podcast.
Yeah.
So,
Next episode.
yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for watching and joining us. We will not be taking another 6 weeks between episodes, hopefully. Got a lot more to talk about too. We were kind of in a bit of a lull for a
Yeah.
little bit.
I mean,
So
it was the
yeah.
yeah, definitely the
We
down
yeah.
period of
Yeah.
the sports calendar.
It was our off season.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, we'll see you next time.
Goodbye.